All right, guys, this is a real PSA on these 2011 plus GM 3/4 and 1 ton trucks. Now, this isn't us trashing on GM, although we've been guilty of that before, but we do want to talk about how you really need more shock up front than you do on other applications. Now, these are the only 3/4 and 1 ton trucks with independent front suspension, which means there's a motion ratio. We won't get into that, but basically, wheel travel is much greater than shock travel, which means the shock is less efficient by that same factor. Additionally, obviously the front end of these trucks, like every other truck, is a lot heavier than the rear, and well, diesel's is heavy. And they also have torsion bars. Torsion bars, without getting too far into it, are prone to really violent motion, particularly on rebound, and they don't have a lot of travel, so they're moving really fast and not moving a lot. This customer did make a decent decision here by running the reservoir front shocks, and that definitely helps with cooling, but we already found out that is nowhere near enough, and this truck doesn't really see a lot of off-road use. These front shocks, despite having an external reservoir for more cooling, were absolutely burned up inside. The oil was as black as night. The wear bands were completely cooked. The shafts showed signs of heat marks on it and additional wear. They were completely gone, but these rear shocks, which don't have the motion ratio, don't have the load, and don't have torsion bar garbage to deal with, were in a lot better shape. Now, they still needed a rebuild, but it was pretty normal end-of-life Fox 2.0 stuff. So we're usually all about, spending less money to get more with your suspension, but in this particular case, we truly believe stepping up to a 2.5, at least on the front of these trucks, is an absolute must, because, well, brother, you will be paying so much in regular services, you will have already spent the extra money in a couple months of those 2.5s. Now, you don't have to go super crazy. Fox released their 2.5 HTOs, and I know I recommend those all the time, but for these trucks, that is gonna be the ultimate front shock choice without spending too much more money. If these reservoir 2.0 shocks, I wanna say, are $1,200 or $1,300, the 2.5 HTOs are $1,370 for the full set of 4, so it's not much more money. They feel a lot better, and they'll actually survive on these trucks. The 2.5-inch body means they have the dampening force to control the suspension, so they are working more efficiently, and inefficiency usually generates more heat, and also the oil volume is much higher. They also use that secondary top-out piston, which really helps with all the spring rate of those torsion bars and all that unsprung mass, so you're not slamming on the shock hard like this guy was with these. So, although we like to keep it cheap, if you're considering an upgrade for your 2011 plus 3/4 or 1 ton GM, you might need to look a little bit more up market than everybody else.